We are continuing our series, Vlad to Dad, and Vlad is here. So now we are side by side. I love those graphics.
Those graphics too.
So good. Vlad, thank you very much for being here. We're going to walk you through.
You're welcome. It's only my job, but
it's your job. It's your job. But this is a tough talk today. We're talking money.
We're talking money.
We're talking budgeting for your baby, which is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
Because raising a child from birth until the age of 17 will cost parents almost $300,000, according to the latest government data, and that is adjusted for inflation. So it's been going up. And that does not include the cost of college.
Which almost doubles, I guess, right? When you look at that number.
Is it worth it? I don't know. CBS News business analyst, tell you the truth.
He's signaling to his 4 children already.
Don't go to school. Trade school is just fine. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger here to tell us what parents need to know. Where does Vlad need to begin here? Where does the budgeting start?
$300,000 from the moment our baby arrives, which is January 29th next year, to the time that she goes to college. $300,000. That includes what?
That seems like way too big a number. So let's break it back down. Okay.
I even think that's a low number.
It may be. I know.
I was like, let me go back and look at my bank account. Yeah, it wasn't no $300,000.
So let's start with how much do you spend right now? Because until we figure that out, we're not going to be able to adjust your budget. So everybody watching who's thinking about having a child, there are some things that you know you have to cut back on when the kid comes, right? Some of my friends who are married or coupled and don't have children, they call it their single life when they're spending and living large.
Right.
So you want to figure out, what are you spending now? Then we've got to add in a lot of costs. We have to have the cost of actually having a child. We have to have the cost of things like diapers. And there are tons of resources for this, and clothing. And a lot of those things are going to continue for the near term and then also the long term. But I think what's most important in this process is to just get a grip today. Then we can adjust for the future.
One of the things that's interesting to me is it feels as if, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the majority of the costs involved in raising children have to do with education and medical expenses. If you're buying an extra Happy Meal when you're at McDonald's, that's not really putting a crunch.
I don't know. There are 365 days in the year. The amount of like dribs and drabs dollars that fall out of my pocket with like, oh, I forgot the water bottle. We got to buy one. Oh, someone's hungry. We don't have snacks.
Right.
Little
So
things that accumulate.
It's just not
builds
just
and builds and builds.
But I think,
And they need clothes.
Exactly. Unfortunately, you have to feed them and clothe them.
Yeah.
But I do think the number one issue that we need to address is child care.
Yeah.
Because this is a cost that has ballooned, and it was always an expensive line item before the pandemic. Since the pandemic, costs of child care average, and I'm telling you, average $10,000 a year. So think about the average household in the United States, which earns about $67,000.
Right.
$10,000 for childcare. So what do you need to do? You need to do a lot of research about what is the cost of care in my area? How can I get babysitters? Should I be getting nannies? Should I be thinking about this? Are there resources? Does my workplace provide for childcare? A lot of companies after the pandemic threw that in as a benefit. It's an amazing benefit. And what you can do is try to put pre-tax dollars away to save for some of those costs. Very important to do that. You get Uncle Sam's help. And there are also, for many people who are at the lower end of the earning income stream, many of those people are able to qualify for credits. So again, I'm sorry to say that you're doing a lot of research on breathing and having babies. You also have to do research on what is available in your area for helping you out with these costs.
But is there a magic number that you could say to Vlad, you know, on a yearly basis, this is what you should plan on for your baby?
Well,
is there such a number?
I think that it really depends on your lifestyle, right? Because
he has a good lifestyle.
I understand that.
A good lifestyle.
I understand that. But for example, as Tony said, there are certain fixed costs that are fixed. I mean, you live in a house, so hopefully that's going to be fine. But if you were to add on, say, that $10,000 for childcare, average, maybe inflated if you're on one of the coasts or live in a big city, if you add on the cost of diapers and formula and all those things, I think that you are looking probably at somewhere between, again, $15,000 to $20,000 a year extra that you are not spending right now. And
really
that's
quickly,
a huge thing.
Let me ask you about college. Preparing for college, should you start saving now, and how much per month?
You should have started saving.
Well, wait a second. Before you get into
your lawn mowing money when you were a kid.
Yes, and because I'm going to presume that you can start saving for college if you have your emergency reserve fund, if you have paid down your credit card debt, and if you are saving for your own retirement. Unless you have that, then no, you can't save for college. If you are going to save for college, the 529 plan is the most robust way to save for education. You put an after-tax dollar in, but it grows without taxation. When your kid goes to school, you pull it out, no tax due. 529 plans, buy them directly through the states. Try to avoid buying them through brokers or advisors. It's really cheap and efficient to do it that way.
Vlad, I got so much free stuff you can take off my hands.
There you go.
I'm looking for it. I'm
Get out of
taking
my
from
house.
everybody. I'm taking from
Hand-me-downs,
everybody.
get the shower. I know you don't want to be the center of attention, but yeah.
I've been
get
taking
everything
notes.
that you
Long story
shower.
short, get another job. Thank you so much.